wish I did something in my life then. I was just at home. I was depressed. I was just depressed. Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Rike Adinamala. If this is your first time, thank you so much for watching, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so much for sticking with me. First things first, my mic broke this morning. Very disheartening. Yes, so I have to film this without a mic, so you're going to be hearing a lot of noise in the background because CapCut decided to make Enhanced Voice Pro. Another CapCut, well done. Today I'm going to be talking about waiting period and things to do when you're waiting, referencing how I stayed at home for 4 years after senior WAEC. I finished school in 2015 at a very young age. I was 14. I had to stay back because my grades and the Nigerian school system and you having to have connections to get into certain schools and all that. And of course there was no money for private school then. I had to wait 4 years. I would write jam, I would pass, I wouldn't get into school. I was trying to apply for the University of Abuja then, and it was a lot of connections here and there, and even the connections that I had still didn't work. During that 4 years, truth be told, I did nothing. I did nothing. I didn't learn any skill. I didn't do anything basically. So that's why I'm here, and I saw how that greatly affected me in the long run. I wished I actually learned a skill. I wished I did something in my life then. I was just at home. I was depressed. I was just depressed. I was tired and depressed. And yes, it can be really challenging. It can be tiresome and all that. But at the end of the day, you have to pick yourself up at some point in your life. You can't always sit back and dwell in your problems, because you are still the same person that will get affected by dwelling in your problems. So yes, now in this video I'm just going to be talking about what you should do during your waiting period. So if you are like me, by choice or by situation, and you find yourself in a very lengthy waiting period, first things first is to get out of that depression. You can pray yourself out of it, but don't sit there, because like I said, you would be the one facing the consequences. So now here are some things you can do while you wait. I actually wrote this down somewhere. Yes, so here are some things you can do while you are in your waiting period. First things first, learn a skill. Now we've seen how skills are paying off right now. It's not back in the day like in the 90s or early 2000s where corporate jobs were the main thing, where if you're not working a corporate job, nobody wanted to hear what you were saying. But right now, people are being rewarded for their skills. So learn a skill. Now there are different types of skill you can learn. And for example, you can learn a tech skill. I'm not a tech person, but I know that there are different branches on that tech. There are different things you can do on the tech. If you're someone who likes IT, or someone who likes, where's this my money? So sorry. If you're someone who likes IT, or someone who likes, all those tech related things, and you're in the waiting period, pick up a tech skill. You don't have to do the whole thing. So I heard you can branch out. You can Google it, do your research, and meet people that have been in the field. Meet people that know these things. Meet people that you see them succeeding in these things too. Another skill you can learn is fashion, tailoring. Yeah, you can learn fashion, you can learn tailoring. There are so many people I've seen today that after school they went to a fashion school. But you can do that while you're waiting. Fashion is something that is really paying around the world right now. Now I want to also say something. Don't do something because it's actually paying. Do it because you have a flair for it, you want to do it. It's like, oh, I love this, I've had the idea of this before and I feel like this will work for me. Another thing about fashion is you don't always have to learn the conventional, Ashwebi, this, that. I think there are different branches of fashion. So there's a designing aspect. I mean, it would be good to learn the tailoring aspect of it, or you can also pick up designing too. You can pick up costuming. There's a whole lot to these things. Another thing you can learn is culinary skills. You can learn culinary skills. You can learn to cook. You can learn to bake. You can learn to make different types of things basically. Aside from this, there are so many other things, there's so many other skills that you can pick up. These ones are actually very, very conventional. You would see these ones every day. There are things that people are not really doing that you probably like, and you know, that thing that interests you, that you feel, just build on it. Build on it. Another thing you can do in your waiting period that I wish I did was internships. Yes, you can apply for internships. There are some internships that will actually pay. Some don't pay, but there are some that will pay. But it's not even about the pay, but it's about you growing. It's about you building yourself mentally, especially. So look for internships, basically. There are organizations that are looking for interns. You can apply to be an intern. Now, this can also be in line with what you want to study. If you find organizations that accept you, that can accept you, apply to those organizations as an intern. Now, lastly, volunteer roles. There are a lot of volunteer roles out there. Those kind of things, you don't go with the mindset of getting paid, but there are a lot of volunteer roles out there that you can also apply for. Volunteer to organizations, volunteer to NGOs, you know, maybe events that are upcoming. There are some events I see that are happening that they do this whole call for volunteers, so you can as well apply for that. At the end of the day, you're building yourself, you're building skill, you're building your mental capacity, you know, and your CV is becoming robust, because you will not work somewhere and not add it to your CV. So you're building your CV, you're building yourself, and by the time your waiting period is ended, you see that you're way ahead of where you thought you were supposed to be. Basically, with these few points of mine, I hope I've been able to convince you to not stay depressed, to not stay down or tired because what you planned out is not working and all that. Like I said, learn a skill, intern, volunteer, and at the end of the day, you see that you'll be 10 times the person you thought you were supposed to be. Another thing I'm going to say is this doesn't only apply to people that are in their waiting period, because it's not everybody that had that whole waiting period thing. Some people had it good, but maybe you're waiting for your visa, you're waiting, maybe you are taking a gap year to, you know, you want to go abroad or something to study. You can also do all these things within that 1 year, and by the time you even get to where you're going to, you see that, okay, these things I learned during my waiting period are quite helpful. So I hope this video has been of great help to you, and I hope to see you at the top. Thank you so much for staying, thank you so much for watching. I hope you like, you share, you comment, and subscribe. See you in my next video, guys. Bye.